How's it going, guys? My name is Graeme. Welcome back to 4 Days in a Wasteland. Leading in the other 3 days there's alternates of each day. We had locusts, cold, and then bandits. I'm pretty sure the 4th day is always just kind of the apocalypse. Cold night outside. Really? It looks like there's like fire and brimstone and stuff going on out there. It doesn't look... Yeah, see, it doesn't look good. It's cold, even though a fiery, scorching hot moon is coming crash landing into your home. It's not a great thing, David. I was kind of also warned that this game has a true ending, and I think it might take 2 playthroughs to get a true ending, so we're going to get whatever ending we have here. I'm not sure how much the endings deviate based on choices you've made throughout the playthrough so far. And where is everyone? I might as well start looking around a little bit, see if anyone turns up, see where they got up to. I better check this floor first. Yeah, sure, alright, there's only like one other room to go to. Oh, shit. Okay, Kate, what are you doing? We agreed to let him live. There's no reasoning with her now, David. Kill him? No, don't kill him. Wait, don't do it. Give me one good reason. I'll help you. Shut up. I wasn't asking you. It's a waste of a bullet. He's learned his lesson. You're better than this. I don't know if she is, really. The world ends anyways. No, that's gonna tip her more in, like, what difference does it make if I murder someone? It's a waste of a bullet. Either that or he learned his lesson was the 2 I was gonna go for. We might need to defend ourselves. I could still just smack his head with a pipe until his brain comes out. Yeah, that's true. It sounds like it's going to be hard to convince you otherwise. He doesn't have anyone left. That's good if you ask me. But I like to finish what I started. There's no more vermin to terminate. Damn you, David. You're too soft. I hope I'm not going to regret that. Thank you. Just let me go. You'll never see me again. Shut up. You're doing the right thing. You shut up too. Everybody just shut up. I hope letting him go won't turn out to be a mistake. We left? Either he's still up there and we just, like, left him, or we sent him off first, but, like, his bike is still here. That was the right thing to do. I'll ask you to say that again if he follows us and stabs our backs when we least expect it. Man, look how close the moon has gotten at this point. I doubt he would. So, it is today. Is it? Yes, I've seen it. This time there's no way to survive this. We know where the ship is. Come on, Kate. How is that going to save us? Maybe if you tell me more about that space station, the story would be believable. More believable. But so far, just a little bit longer, David. Let's go to that outpost. It's pretty far away, so we'd better take a car. Barry, how do you feel? How should I feel? My wife is dead, the kid we looked after died. I've had the worst night of my life and the world's about to end. Hang in there. Things are going to get better. I don't know, David. This whole thing about the spaceship, it's too good to be true. Not to mention I'm terrified of flying. I take trains. Don't worry. You'll see I'm not bluffing. I want to investigate his bike and see what kind of useful things he has. Pair of gloves in the bag. I wonder, a pair of leather biker gloves. Anything else? Nothing more in the bag. Downhill. We never do go back out this way, like, any more. Usually we just hop in the car and kind of auto transport to where we need to go. So I never revisit that particular area. I guess that's everything. Oh, Jesus Christ. We just stacked up all the bodies and threw a tarp over it? That's morbid. Why did we even do anything? No time to bury them. I can't believe we killed them all. All but one? It's pretty messed up, guys. Jesus. We survived another night. This is the last day. This time I didn't even need a dream to tell me that. I can feel it. The moon will hit Earth today. We decided to spare Razor. This place has seen enough death. I just hope I'm not going to regret that decision. We have to go to the outpost and see if the ship is still there. I don't know if once we get to the outpost, if we'll be, like, able to come back. And so I'm wondering if there's a few things maybe that I should be bringing with me. If we go back upstairs, is he just tied up in the bathroom? No, we like properly let him free. I grabbed a bunch of random stuff to load the truck up with to some extent. I doubt I'll need most of that, especially things like the rock. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that immediately. That was a stupid thing to grab. Ooh, I should ask these two what they think about today. So today's the day. Yes, we either fly or we fry. Can't believe you're able to joke about Earth being destroyed. Then again, I can hardly believe that Earth is being destroyed in the first place. Well, yes, this world is lost. There's nothing we can do, just escape. Or don't, as the title would suggest. I guess you're not sharing any more details on our actual plan of what to do once we take off. Listen, right now taking off isn't even certain. The ship might not fly, or it might explode in the air if it's damaged. There are a million things that can go wrong, so yes, let's focus on those things now. You'll learn about everything soon enough. And Barry, are you feeling a little closer at all? I have to admit that I might have been a little too harsh. He's helpful. Without him, it would be much harder to survive. Oh, so you can admit your own mistakes. Don't push your luck, David. I would still be just fine without him, or without you. Well, I don't know, you did crash a helicopter in an otherwise quite open field. Typical Kate, never willing to accept help. Hey, yes? What are you feeling? Thinking about your wife? All the time. Today's the last day of the world. Just listen to this. The end of the world is today. I can't believe it. I can't comprehend it. It's not something I expected nor wanted to witness. If we're lucky, we're going to witness it from above. Yeah, if we're lucky. You don't believe we can make it, do you? It doesn't matter. Even if we do, the end of the world means it's the end of the world. So I don't believe we can escape our fate. But you can be sure as hell I'll do everything to help you get where you want to go. So you can still count on me. Thanks, Barry. That's great of you. Way to take one for the team. She has her flaws, like all of us. I had my doubts in the beginning, but she had many opportunities to ditch us. Maybe it's because she needs some help to achieve her goals, but Maggie always said that I should give others at least some benefit of the doubt. And okay, I trust her, kind of. At least I don't think she would harm us in any way. But don't get me wrong. I'm still sure she wouldn't cry after losing any of us. And what about Razor? You did the right thing, David. There was enough bloodshed. No reason to take another life. We did what we had to do to defend ourselves, and that's enough. What if he decides to get back at us? I'm not sure he has time for revenge, don't you think? I guess. It's not like he has time for anything else, though. I mean, might be how he spends his last day. Hard to read. The mindset of a man who kind of fell into lunacy as soon as the world was at threat of ending. This is a little bit out of the way. I'm going to eat up some time doing this. But there was one thing in particular that people pointed out to me that I wanted to follow up on at the office building here. And it'll eat up time on the drive, and I think I have to climb a rope. That's about it. Oh, do you know what? I just reminded myself I didn't ask Kate about Razor. I want to see if she's still going to dig her heels in and say that we should have killed him. Do not talk to me about that. You convinced me. I already regret that. Why? Because I showed weakness. Because I looked like some sort of wimp. No offense. Kate, this man has lost all his friends. He lost everything, which makes him super duper dangerous. I added duper. I just read super, and then D was the next letter that came up. Super duper dangerous. That sounds like something Kate would say, as he has nothing left to lose now. What if he decides to come back? I doubt that. If I were him, I would totally come back and have my revenge. Yes, you probably would. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Well, that you're kind of a wild card, Kate. Seems like something a little unpredicted might be exactly the sort of move you choose to make. So I tried to do this before. It was too heavy. Nothing happened. Apparently, I could have recruited help. Help me with the pipe. Could you give me a hand with something? What is it? I was just sitting here picking my own nose. I didn't pay attention to what you were doing at all. The pipe over there that's blocking the way. It's too heavy. Sure, let's try together. And now Kate, same thing, just twiddling her thumbs. You're welcome. And inside is a floppy disk. A floppy disk labeled MemBoost. I have a strange feeling like deja vu. Like it's really important for some reason. I think I should keep that disk. I guess early to late 90s, mid to late 90s, floppy disks still would have been the way to go. Why does this feel so familiar and important at the same time? Why? I'd better carry it with me. Who knows when I might need it? Will it be instantaneously? Not powered, it's broken, or both. Stack of papers. Jonathan Sampling. He was the geologist. To Stephen Jervin. All the necessary preparations have been completed. We are ready to start the procedure. According to calculations, chances of success are about 89%. Ooh, is this maybe the coma conspiracy thing where they're implanting consciousnesses into other people's minds? As I mentioned in our last conversation, with current conditions, I will not be able to get better results. And I think this is a risk we must take. At the moment, we do not have much information about the crystals, and we're in possession of a very small amount, which is, it's come up before, but I think now a certainty is a very direct connection to Don't Escape 3, where you were in space and there was like crystals that were possessing people's minds and causing mass murders and things. We need more if we want our expeditions to continue, even if an attempt to synthesize more could end up a disaster. This is more important than the existence of one world. Even in the event of failure, we will gain a huge amount of information that will allow us to increase the safety of the procedure in the future. SP-109 is expendable. There was something that said, like, planet. It was when I was rifling through the files in this building that I'm pretty sure. I mean, and Sidereal Plexus is obviously what SP is, but wasn't it like planet SP4 or something like that? Does Sidereal Plexus, are they aliens who just like control people in comas, insert their alien minds into comatose people, and like take over planets and things like that, all to mine resources? I'm spinning out into a way far-reaching theory, but I want to put it out there on the table in case I end up being right. It's expendable. The level of development leaves much to be desired. It is also one of the least profitable facilities. SP4. Yeah, according to the instructions from the director of SP4, you should immediately evacuate. Mrs. Stanford has a list of employees who should be informed about the evacuation if it is an actual necessity. If they were aliens talking to one another, they probably wouldn't use names like Mrs. Stanford and stuff, would they? I don't really know how aliens talk to one another or what kind of naming conventions they use, but it makes me think that theory is a slightly more preposterous. It's something along those lines, though. Maybe we're going to get Bioshock Infinited, where we realize there are all these alternate timelines and realities and stuff like that, and that the zombie apocalypse of Don't Escape 2 and the werewolf world of Don't Escape 1 and stuff are like alternate dimensions or realities or things like that. That's my new working theory. Full half hour to drive there. I don't need to stop for fuel or anything. Do you know what? I'm going to make a detour to the construction site, because now that there's no one here, I want to see if it's different in any way and into what I can actually do here. So the main entrance that I wouldn't have been able to approach before. Weekly Conspiracy, Sidereal Plexus special issue. Is this going to be different than the other one? Last issue we investigated Sidereal Plexus Sleeper Clinic, so we are beyond that. This is the next edition. While the problem still exists, and people out there are still being controlled by mind-transferring technology, we at Weekly Conspiracy began to wonder, why does Sidereal Plexus have the technology in the first place? Together with all their other advancements in space exploration, energy, and computers, these days Sidereal Plexus seems to be first to come up with anything. To us, this seems just a bit too suspicious. Time travel. They might have the best engineers in the world, but that can't explain how they're producing countless advancements, introducing many of them into our everyday lives. One can only wonder what fraction of their technology we're actually seeing. Moore's law states that processing power of computers doubles every 18 months. However, since Sidereal opened their computer research branch 2 years ago, this increase has tripled. This defies any logic and leads to an obvious conclusion. Aliens! I'm on the right track. Me and the Weekly Conspiracy, we're on the same page. I could be a journalist or an editor or the guy who runs and gets coffee there. For sure. For sure I would have a job. We at Weekly Conspiracy believe Sidereal Plexus has been in contact with extraterrestrial beings since its founding. When you think about it, it's been right in front of us. Yeah, I would be an editor, I think, this entire time. Sidereal, as in stellar or astral. Is that a real thing? I've never heard sidereal used, really. It's pretty solid proof that their technology wasn't created on this planet, whether by allowing alien spaceships to land in their secret facilities or by opening portals to other universes. They are importing this technology from an otherworldly place. The real question is, what is the price they are paying? Let's hope we never find out, because we at Weekly Conspiracy fear this price might hurt us all. Aliens. No, David, no aliens. Don't believe in everything you read. You only worked there for like days. There's no way they would tell you. Even if it's not far from the actual truth. It isn't? Let's move, David. A welding kit? Oh, because Scriptwelder. Yes, right? Is there like something right next to it? I mean, it is just a construction site. Can't reach that. There's got to be a way to get up there. Could I have only come to this site after defeating the bandits? Could I only come here this day? Ooh, or I wonder if you've had the non-bandit alternate of day 3, if you could come here. So maybe welding and stuff. Maybe all this equipment would have been important for that day. But what do you guys have to say about the general area or what we got going on? Any thoughts? Let's find out what could be useful for us and leave. Except for some materials, I'm not sure if there's anything for of use for us here. A couple people pointed out in number 3. They said you could hold Alt, and it would show you... Do I have to hold the other Alt? It would show you what things can be clicked on. Oh, maybe it was just things that could be picked up? Doesn't seem to be working. I'll try it again on a different screen, I guess. What do you think of the construction site? I've heard about it. People from the city started feeling tight in their megalopolis, so this developer decided to build a residential area in the suburbs. As you can see, construction was never finished. Maggie and I didn't like the idea. It would have been too close to our house. We were happy to have a small piece of heaven to ourselves. Kind of silly, I know. No, that's perfectly reasonable. No one wants neighbors. Ah, the metal is rusty and covered with spikes. I'm gonna cut my hands and bleed to death if I try to climb it. Use your gloves? There's gonna be thick-ass gloves, but I guess they probably have to, like, defend against flying rocks and stuff when you're a biker, so they better be damn strong. What if I hold Alt now? Did everyone just make this up? Is this some weird, crazy thing that's being spouted? I mean, it was a thing in the old Flash games because that's just an artifact of how ActionScript worked. But, like, it seems to not do anything here. This was used to pull heavy weights up and down. Maybe this could help me somehow. I mean, if we can superhero climb our way up and down an elevator shaft, we should be able to hook and climb down this, right? Like, that seems easy enough to me. There, well done. Well done, David. That's quite impressive. Welding kit together with a welder mask. Well, that's about as straightforward as it could possibly be. And, yeah, I want to take that back, because there's no way that this multi-purpose rope is done its usefulness. Or it might be, but rope is just great to have in general. Samwise Gamgee always thought so, and he was a wise man, so I would tend to agree with him. Oh, we're squeezing in on the back end here now. I'm already hauling that full tank of gas, and so I can kind of risk making this long trip out here. It has the Sidereal logo on it. Ooh, this was C. This was the one bus that was destined to actually take people on the ship. They were using this bus to move their people to the launch site. Too bad their driver didn't know how to drive. Looks like they abandoned it here and continued on foot. Can you really see that many footprints and all this like dust and stuff? Maybe they've left something valuable behind. Hey David, maybe I'll help you carry something. Oh yeah, we've had this conversation before. That was a separate thing that just happened to come up real quickly. I'm going to finally... This is something that I'm obviously going to be able to pick up. I'm holding Alt, guys. It doesn't do anything. I mean, is this... It's not going to be a key for the bus. Oh, for Lab 13. Oh, man, am I going to have to go back to the office again? Maybe I'm going to have to drive around more today than I anticipated. I mean, I guess I should have expected that the ship wasn't just going to be automatically working condition. That would be a little too convenient, wouldn't you say? What do I think about what? They had a transport, but they got into trouble. Nothing more to explain. Alright then. I guess we're on the same page, that it's a straightforward situation. Any idea what's wrong with that bus? I would have to look under the hood, and that would take some time, which we don't have. Fair enough, moving on. To the Wasteland? Just go to the Wasteland. Seriously? That's like all we can do right now? I guess it auto-stopped us at this, but we can carry on. Oh good, you can still take the truck. I was wondering if maybe you had to carry on foot. Beyond that, there it is. You mean this? What did you expect? I told you, the location of this facility was confidential. Don't look for any bright neon signs or signposts. Yeah, but still. Come on, the whole place is underground. We have to get inside. There might be security measures waiting for us. We're here, Kate. The outpost. Are you happy? I will be once we launch our ship into space. Anything I should be concerned about here? Like I said, defense mechanisms of some sort. Also, nothing here has been used for quite a while, so don't expect things to work. What do you think of this place? I'm not sure. After all this hype from Kate, I think I expected something more. There is more inside. This actually reminds me of the time Maggie and I went to a local fair. We don't really have time for your anecdote, buddy. It was years ago. There was this small tent in the middle, and it looked like nothing special, but inside they put mirrors on the walls and the columns. It was lit up with bright lights. It looked incredible. It was like stepping into infinity, Maggie said. And she was kind of right. Then again, all that was just an illusion. A little bit of commentary on what's in store for us down here. Wow, this guy got crisped. What's this we got up here? An access panel, a radar. It doesn't look like... Oh, a hatch. Hatch. Anything we can do there? This thing weighs much more than I'll ever be able to lift. Can you help with the lifting, maybe, Barry? Although if Barry died, then that means he wouldn't be able to do the sections. That kind of doesn't work out very well, does it? This man looks like he's been burnt. The corpse looks melted, and the sand around it turned into glass shards. Well, shit, we probably don't want to get too close to this, right? Or get right up in it. Warning, defense systems activated. Provide a valid ID card. You have 5 seconds to comply. When I cleared out all that stuff from the house, I made sure I grabbed an ID card because I kind of figured we're going to a Sidereal Plexus site. Even if I don't know what that guy's job was, whatever his name is, something Salmon or Solomon or whatever. I don't know what kind of ranking position he had, but that was the only like piece of anything to do with Sidereal Plexus that I had, and it turns out it's good enough. So I guess this guy was like a random stranger, not a Sidereal Plexus employee. This place sucked even before the world was destroyed. Either that, or he's a guy who just really unfortunately forgot his ID card and somehow wasn't wise enough to run away. We arrived at the outpost, the place Kate was after since the day we met. Seems like ages ago. Yeah, you guys have really gone through a lot in that time, haven't you? It's kind of been out of control. Fuse box. Probably some puzzle. Looks like these wires power the electrical doormat and the elevator. Have I had to do a puzzle like this before? I don't recall. The elevator line is down. I have to find a way to restore its power. We'll just swap a bunch of fuses around. It'll be kind of similar to like connecting power in the office building to a degree. And while I'm at it, I should disable this doormat before someone gets hurt. Probably a good idea, actually. It would make sense that maybe only one of those two things remains powered. Oh shit. Whoa, I caused a short circuit. Oh man, if you accidentally connect to one of these, it scrambles everything up again. That's kind of cool. That's it requires some planning ahead then. Like I have to move this first so I don't accidentally cause a connection like that. Oh shit, I didn't. Well, there you go. That's the sort of looking ahead you need to do. Oh, come on now with that. Wait, I'm gonna look on all sides of each of these and disconnect anything and everything that could possibly hook them up, and then I should be able to take my time, think through things, and make rash decisions. No consequences whatsoever. Oh, I can also disconnect this when I want to play around with things a little bit. I think that's the one. I connected too many things. Alright, disconnect all that. Is that not? Oh yeah, that does it. I thought it would close out once it was complete. No, it's good. Well, finally, what took you so long? It's better to be cautious. Yeah, I didn't really want you guys to come rampaging in there while I'm fiddling around with the death door. An engine with a transmission belt. My pants are barely holding themselves up. Don't mind if I do. This large engine surely moves something big. However, it's not moving at the moment. With a proper tool, I could remove the transmission belt. Sounds like the job for a hammer. Hammers always solve anything. What are you talking about? Do you want to remove it with the screwdriver? It'll no longer work unless you reinstall it. I'm going to not touch it yet because I haven't even tried the elevator now that I think about it. Is this thing not meant for calling the elevator, possibly? It didn't look like it turned on then. So I'm guessing at some point it will and won't need the belt. Or I'll need the belt for something else, sort of thing. Oh, shit. A doorway. Kind of hard to see that that's the case. Ah! We're doing alright. Is it like motion lights? No? A switch? Hey! Kate, what is that? A trajectory map? Why does it go to the moon? We're not going to the moon, are we? You said we're going to a space station. I never said the space station wasn't on the moon. That's just crazy. I knew you were crazy. You've got to be kidding. Please tell me you are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the moon going to hit us in less than 12 hours? Why the hell would we want to go there? It's the only way. You have to believe me. I don't know if I have any reason to believe you. You promised us safety. You promised us an escape. You said you wanted to leave this planet. Those aren't the exact words I used. I think we deserve some answers. How can I explain it to you? There's something in that moon base that will help us. Sidereal has a base there. What could possibly help us if we reach the moon on an hour before impact? And wasn't their moon base destroyed in the mining accident? It was, but they have another base on the moon. It's called Sidereal Plexus 1, and they... How should I put this? How do you think Sidereal has all this technology? Private space shuttles, moon bases, electric doormats, weather drones, heat absorbers. The means to accidentally blow up the whole damn moon. I'm not sure I follow. They're getting that technology from other worlds. Like other planets? No, other Earths. They're in contact with other versions of Sidereal Plexus. So yeah, it is like an alternate version, alternate reality thing. A vast network of connections across the endless universes, constantly discovering new versions of the world as they go. It is like BioShock Infinite. I hope I used that as my specific example, because that's what I had in mind. I might have accidentally just said BioShock, but I meant Infinite. Our world is merely one page in an enormous library of worlds they have access to. Do you expect me to believe all that? I don't really care if you do. Help me off this planet or get out of the way. You have some nerve to mock us like that, after all we've been through? Barry, like I said, I don't care if you believe me or not, and I don't need your help. Just to be clear, I'm helping David, not you. I think that was just a regular idle animation, but it made it seem like she was like, yep, that is totally fair. A piece of paper, but with what? A chemical formula. Experimental medicine that increases lung efficiency. Side effects include itching and occasional rashes. I am sitting. I got to make sure I point this at the camera properly. I haven't. It wasn't that long ago that I played and recorded Don't Escape 3. And let's see if I still have this on my desk. Oh, come on. You got to pick it up better than that, camera. You suck at this. But you can kind of... Ooh, maybe at that distance you can kind of see. I have these different circles here. And these were the configurations for making... what the hell was it that we even had to make? I don't know. You made potions or whatever it was on the spaceship. But it was like varying circles with lines and dots in them in different configurations. And I had to like get the proportions of it right. I still have that note here. And then next to it was from like the previous episode or the one before it or whatever, where we were in the office. But I was like making note of my puzzles here. So this is kind of like a little bit of a small connection to Don't Escape 3. There we go, my Don't Escape note. That's where I'm writing down my puzzle solutions so I don't have to pull these things out all the time. Although the game is kind of good about making them accessible to you, thinking back to like that first Locust thing, but I feel like it's just handier to have it just in front of me here. An access card to just somewhere deeper in the building. Sandra Vandera. I can't remember if her name came up in the emails and stuff. I feel like there's a good chance. Presentation materials. In case they have doubts, here's a FAQ. Why is it on the moon? Even our weak signals could corrupt our devices. The moon's body shields our facility from Earth's intense radio interference. Is this a one-way trip? Yes. Where will we end up and in what state? A safe world will be selected. You're likely to survive intact. Who was selected for this rescue? Why is X not here? We had limited time and resources, and we could only bring as many people as we gathered since the incident. If you believe someone crucial to the operation is missing, please report it to your supervisor. And then considering we're operating on the scale of like a couple days, we're probably going to ignore that request. Why are we only taking one ship? The other ship is a reserve spare vehicle. Don't worry, we've directed our workers to multiple launch pad outposts. Nobody will be left behind, as long as they present value to the company. Oh, that's kind of dangerous sounding. Presentation screen, can I see what's going on here? I can't believe we're doing this. Maybe I can swap to another slide that seems more interesting. Nothing unusual, it's just a standard slide projector remote. It has batteries inside. Good thing they're secured with a screw, otherwise someone could just take them. Don't mind if I do. I've removed the batteries. Without them, the remote is useless. Did I throw away the remote? Because I kind of wanted to see if I could skip around on the slide a little bit. What do you think? I can't believe a private corporation was able to build such a place in secret. Then they used it to evacuate just like that, without sharing this information with anyone, without even trying to save a single soul, and they supposedly left one of their ships behind. They didn't need both. There are a lot of people who would have done anything to board that ship of theirs, even if the chances of actually being saved by it were a long shot. Yeah, probably a good thing more people didn't know about it. They would have done crazy shit. Yeah, it's not over yet. The worst is yet to come. You know how to lift the spirits up, Kate. I'm just being realistic. We got here and that's great. We've been through a lot, but it's still far from over. Oh man, I just realized that the different versions, the locusts, the spiders, the cold, the hot and everything, the reason people encounter different scenarios from day to day, I don't know, maybe it always is on planet SP4 or what have you, but like that could be an explanation within the game as like a meta thing of why days play out differently for different people playing the game, is because they're in like a slightly different reality, a slightly different universe, what have you. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how that fits together. It's a little bit of an umbrella, easy way of explaining things away, but it works at the same time, I would say. It's locked. Probably with that fingerprint reading lock. I didn't know that that's what it was. Let's see if it recognizes me. Access denied? That's what I thought. Catherine, Kate, I assume you're too low level to be able to do it, but could you scan your finger? Yeah, so since you know so much about Sidereal, I thought you could... David, oh, come on. You wouldn't have any idea about this place if you weren't somehow involved. Even if I was, do you think I'd still be here if I was important enough for them to save me? Humor me. By walking straight through me. Happy now? Yes. Barry? You want to give your thumb a quick run? Yeah, you're right. It's probably not a great idea. Well, once you guys are done walking towards this cutscene style... Oh, cool. Well, let's investigate this first. There it is. It smushes his face right against the glass. Incredible. I told you it'd be here. I'm sure you hadn't doubted me for a second. Actually, I did. Yeah, no shit. I apologize. I admit, this looks impressive. The music right now is cool, too. It's like a regular space shuttle, but smaller and more fancy. It is promising. Don't celebrate just yet. Rocket fuel, turning it on, launching it. Usually that requires like teams of people on the ground. I assume for an evacuation ship they made it so you could do it from inside, but like basically there's no reason to think that the three of us could fly a spaceship, so I don't know what everyone's banking on here. There's space for 2 rockets in the silo, see? One launch pad is empty. So they took one shuttle and left the other one behind. Why? They could have saved twice as many people. Maybe one was sufficient. Remember, they weren't trying to save as many people as possible. They were saving who they thought was worth saving. Or the other one was broken. Anyway, a bit of time has passed. The ship requires a general inspection before it's even remotely safe to use. How do we possibly inspect this? What can we do to improve the condition of the ship? I guess that's today's big major task. I just want to see if I inspect this more closely, if there was like evidence that there was like clearly a thumbprint smeared onto it or something like that, and you would lift it off with like tape. With tape? That's always done with like Scotch tape or whatever, though. It's never duct tape that does that. It's locked, and this one has a card scanner though. So this one we should actually have the ability. Cool. Access granted. Control room, away to the launch pad. Well, I guess we're going to want to look at the controls first. See if we can stick it on a timer and then like go run on board while it's getting ready to take off. Mainframe computer, an opening with electronics. Does it need AA batteries? A part came loose. I'll take it. I hope it wasn't important. Yeah, probably. They don't just put spare parts into computers for shits and gigs, you know? A duplexer, an electric device commonly found in radio and radar communication systems. What the hell is that, and why do you know that? There's a part at the bottom that seems to be open. Okay, I already fiddled with that. Silos hatch control. This computer controls the hatch mechanism. Do you want to open? Maybe not right this second. Radar screen. System failure. Well, the radar won't be of any use to us anyway, right? Probably not, but on the other hand, I mean, it's not like there are any planes left in the air, or helicopters. But who knows, David? Who knows? We'll just shove a duplexer in there. Just right on the screen. Diagnostics. This is what we most need. Silo hatches closed. Hull integrity check failed. That doesn't mean it failed the check. It means it failed to check it, I think. Air composition missing. So it's probably what I'm going to need this for. Improve our lung capacity, lung efficiency. Fuel mixture selected. Fuel catalyst present. Air supply lowered. Consider using air-saving pills. That's more... The air composition would be like nitrogen to oxygen to carbon, what have you. So the air supply lowered is the more important thing. Warning, diagnostic system is damaged. Please perform a manual onboard inspection to complete the diagnostics. Yeah, that's fair enough. Air composition control. Adjustment of air composition might be required. Current air composition quality terrible. I'm guessing every time you add to one, it subtracts from others. Yes. So if I can try and get it to something a little, just a wee bit better, I'm going to jack you way up and then start figuring other things out from there. Oh, is it just that everything other than the one you're moving goes down a little? Because that should be easy enough to figure out, right? I just take turns adding to different ones. Oh, it's barely not going to work. Yeah, there it is. Okay, there. I don't think it could be done any better than this. Getting everything in that nice green window there. Cool. As soon as I realized that it wasn't like randomly adjusting, that's much easier to handle. It makes it a much more straightforward puzzle overall. So I adjusted the air composition to be more breathable, but maybe we still need to use pills, like health pills. Air composition selected. Air supply still lowered. It is still a lower air supply. Fuel catalyst control. This console has an inlet for catalyst fluid that would be injected into the fuel tank. We do not have stuff like that. A power slot, though. I don't know if I have the extension cable. I want to know exactly everything in this area that I may or may not need, because I probably have to run back out again to go to the office, the facility, and go to lab 13. And so it's okay if I need to go run back to the house or whatever to grab a couple things, but like I want to know everything I need first, you know? Broken elevator engine without a transmission belt. This engine's useless. We don't know what that one up top really does. It's basic socket. High voltage socket for specialized equipment. I don't really know what we would need to plug in down here, actually. Like, the extension cable seems like it would make a lot of sense, just by nature of it being a socket. But yeah, I don't really know what we would do with that. Okay, so maybe there's no reason for that belt to stay on. Oh, do we have to make it up top first on the elevator, do something like dangle the rope to climb up and down, and then take it back and put it back on the machine up top? Because there's probably, do you know what? It probably opens the hatch. That's my guess. And before I click that and commit to like using up the time, I'm going to test whether or not that is the case. Open hatch, system failure. Yes. Okay, so I kind of did just waste time there for a second, but I would have had to have wasted more time taking it on and off of the elevator a couple of times. How long is it going to take to put back on? It takes 10 minutes. Shit. So it's kind of like, that is like almost a half hour wasted taking it on and off multiple times. 20 minutes. 20 minutes wasted. Open hatch. There we go. Dumping all the sand in. Now, hopefully it wasn't too much sand. Hopefully the sand didn't like bury a bunch of stuff down there, you know? Yes. Put it on there. With the proper tool, I could remove it. No, I don't want to remove it. I think you can just go ahead and use it then. We'll see what we got going on up top here. Where did all the people go anyway? Yeah, other than the people who got sent away on the ship. What do you mean exactly? Because, like, a handful of people got sent away, but the world is so deserted. Sure, the moon is broken and the climate is crazy, but where did all the people go? This was actually kind of weighing on me yesterday after playing day 3 of the game. I was thinking of it all day, or for a couple hours or whatever. Most of them are dead. Most of them, how? I always imagined the majority survived somehow. Earthquakes, diseases, hunger. You'd be surprised how fragile the food supply chain was. Yeah, those bandits were eating sacks of who knows what. Also, there were resource wars. Not one war, many wars. Not a big, we use them conflict. Everybody for themselves, a backstabbing fest between countries and inside the countries. There were probably more wars this year across the globe than during the entire century. Millennium, maybe even? And it's the 20th century, so we're talking about. So that says something. Okay, maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe a century is accurate. But of course, it kind of went unnoticed. First, there was no more press, so hardly anyone knows about it. And second, there's hardly anyone left in general. Some of them turned into marauding bandits. Huh, guess that's all there was to say on the situation. Do you guys want to comment on the big cool ship that we're standing like right in front of / next to? Because it seems pretty damn cool. How does it look? Am I supposed to be looking at it the other way? You tell me. I don't know much about spaceships. I always imagined it would be more horizontal. It can be confusing, but the ship will rotate to horizontal position after we launch. Still, it kind of looks like some sort of space bus with all these seats. Its purpose was to drive people to and from the moon. It kind of is a space bus. Anyway, look around for any systems that seem to be missing. I just got like a weird flashback to like the magic school bus where it would turn into a spaceship and like take people to the moon. How will I know if a system is missing if it's not there? Come on, David, you're smart. It's not rocket. Well, actually it kind of is. Main console, are we ready to launch? I've made some calculations and we barely have enough fuel to get to our destination. We have to limit our weight, and you seem to be carrying a lot of stuff with you. I like picking things up. You never know when you're going to need a water sprayer. Oh, that stupid thing never came up. Well, now you have to say goodbye to your belongings. Take only things that weigh, say, 1 kilogram in total. 1 kilogram, fine. So not like a shotgun. I spent hours modifying this thing. Come on, a rifle, whatever. It doesn't matter. Set of circuit boards. Does it need that thing I ripped out with that other computer? All slots are filled with chips. All lights are green. Everything seems to be fine here. A filter slot. A lithium hydroxide filter is missing. And I don't think we have anything that would like fit the bill, you know? It pretty much has to be that thing. A ladder down. Okay, yeah. I got more to investigate. Oh, the shadows as he was climbing down there was pretty neat. Toolbox. I already got all the tools. I found a glue gun in the toolbox. It seems to be out of power. Well, power cords and stuff are usually quite... I have one of those at least. Glue gun with no batteries. Ah. While there is a tube of glue inside, there's no power to heat it and melt the glue. Boom. And now as working batteries, they won't last for too many uses though. I'll attempt to be careful. It works by melting the glue into sticky goo that quickly dries. I haven't used a glue gun in forever. Always fun. I used to make things just out of glue gun glue. Kind of like one of those like 3D printer pens now that I think about it, but shittier. Large round slots labeled auxiliary air tanks are empty. Man, where the hell am I going to get all this shit? Lab 13? Won't have everything, right? A device labeled engine calibrator displays engine status. Everything seems to be fine here. Really? That's not like something that a duplexer or a floppy disk needs to go into? Memory boost, right? Okay, well I tried just slotting things in other things and it didn't really do it. A system. Oh, a storage compartment down here as well. Hey, Kate? Yeah? I found some spacesuits. Good, those are emergency suits in case the shuttle fails to dock to the moon base. Should I take them? No, leave them there for now. We might need them later. I wonder if they look like exactly like the ones from Don't Escape 3. Like, did that... Sidereal Plexus, I don't know if it was a thing specifically in that game, but I'm wondering if now they've retconned it, so like some sort of little blue marker on that spacesuit is like now a logo for this company. Ooh, a dangerous looking crack. This can't be good, right? How big is it? I don't know, like palm sized? No idea how deep it runs. Maybe it's just on the surface? If it's any deeper, we might be in trouble. Best case scenario, we'll lose oxygen. Worst case, we explode during the ascent. Right. Well, I think the Solvol duct tape ought to do the trick. Maybe nails or duct tape were good before, but I'll need something more professional here. Glue! A glue gun. Yes, gluing the crack in the spaceship's hull is totally going to help. I don't know, man. It's hot glue. It's different. Oh shit, well, what about just using a straight up welding kit? Yes, a welding torch will do, but I need to plug it into power, and I need some material to cover the crack with. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? But can you plug it into the socket? That's the first step. It's plugged in, that's powered, now I need some material to weld. Okay, that gets us a lot of the way there. Glad I went back to the construction site and fiddled around with that. Next step... Okay, one more pass through all of this. Just everywhere in this general area. Launch pad. It's empty. To put it simply, the ship has sailed. Or lifted off, to be more precise. Yeah, we're going to look through everything here more thoroughly. and then we'll have to go to Lab 13. A spaceship is attached to huge rocket engine units. The shuttle itself looks similar to the ones used by NASA, yet it's smaller and somehow seems more modern. This must be designed by Sidereal Plexus. I haven't seen it anywhere before. Anyway, that's our ticket out of here. Or at least that's what I hope. That's just from me clicking on the space shuttle in this particular window. Oh, do you know what? I had it in my mind to lift a fingerprint using duct tape. What about with glue? Not really. What about from this one? What is something else that people have touched, have been using? The switch, maybe? Come on. This is a good idea, right? This has got to be on the right track, at least. Not straight on the scanner. That seems like a good idea, too. Can I, like, repair this? I obviously don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's dumb. Not gonna do it. Well, I'm gonna need, like, a piece of metal to weld that piece together. I'm guessing I'm gonna get access here through Lab 13. And that maybe from the crashed bus, I can get, like, a piece of metal? That's all I have to go off of right now. Oh, there's also this access panel. Can I just walk right up to that? He can climb up that. Okay. I know this was like sparkling before and everything, and I saw that I could interact with it, but I thought I would find a different way up. Metal plates held down by screws. A metal plate sounds like exactly what I need. Alright, that's handy. Oh yeah, it looks perfect. Flat piece of lightweight metal alloy. Easy. What else is in here? One of the parts looks burned. It says duplexer on it. Well, while you're at it, do you know what? Shove another duplexer in there. That should get things working all handy dandy. Oh, look at that. I've fixed it. You're a goddamn genius, buddy. You figured it out. Now throw things down the big hole. Ship's down there waiting to launch. Okay, well, I can weld the crack. It feels like a waste of time to run all the way back to here now that I've started doing it, but I guess I'm committed. I'm also curious if something like this takes time. I would rather do a bunch of moving around that doesn't use time to get to an action that obviously will, because then it gives me a better sense of what I'm working with for the day as a whole. Do you want to weld the alloy to the wall and fix the cracked surface? Yes, I do. I hope this will hold. It has to. It's probably the extent of what we need the welding kit for. Maybe I take that with me again just in case. A silo? This one turned out to be empty. Oh, I was wondering if I could walk over to it and investigate a little more closely. That key legit might have been the only thing of value on this bus. Oh, there's a weird dirty handprint. This is alright. We got fingerprint access. It took like a weird amount of time for it to, like, it was nothing, and then it just kind of popped. Like, it was like, oh, that's clearly different. And I'm like really pixel hunting right now because it would be weird if there was nothing else in the bus. This looks kind of cool and very detailed in this view. On the dirty glass, there's a well-preserved impression of a hand mowed with dried grease made. Man, sometimes the slight differences in letters there catch me off guard. You can even see fingerprints on it. Now is where I think you have to glue it. Glue gun melts the glue into a moldable goo. Glue gun melts the glue into a moldable goo. God, it's kind of tongue twistery. I put some of it on the window. Now I just need to wait a moment for it to dry. Meanwhile, the glue gun has run out of power. I guess remote controller batteries don't last too long. Wow, that died about as quickly as it possibly could have, and it looks like you just threw it away, didn't you? The glue's dried and formed a plastic mold. I need something to separate it from the glass without damaging the imprint. Screwdriver? Seems like you'd be able to pry it off. There, I have a perfect impression of the guy's fingerprint. You better hope that that was the correct finger. That it was, like, maybe you got his index. It needs to be the thumb or something. Fingerprint of a Sidereal Plexus researcher, one who was considered valuable because they were on the sea, molded on a piece of dried glue. Cool. These little short mini journeys between here, trying not to use my fuel until I have to. I guess I could have saved the time and fuel coming back to here again immediately by going onwards towards the lab. But I kind of have to get an idea of what is in this room first, so I know maybe a better sense of what to look for in Lab 13. How valuable and how many things. A weird device. Seems like that's exactly what we need. Give me more of those. Load me up with weird devices. Can never have enough of those. One more, please. While I'm at it, I'm starting a collection, you see. What's wrong with this weird device or that one? They look plenty weird to me. What do you have to say about them here? A calibrator, a device used to calibrate engines so they give a steady, even thrust when fired. It made it sound like it was already calibrated, but I guess it could be better. And a filter. Lithium hydroxide filter. Cool. That is something we definitely do need. I can just pop the filter straight on in. I replaced the filter. Nice and straightforward. A lithium hydroxide filter is installed. Everything seems to be fine here. I won't complain. And the calibrator goes into the system. Calibrator is already installed. I'm curious if that'll fail on launch or like, I don't know. Obviously, I'll hang on to it because finding a second one seems weird. Maybe it's just to throw you off the tiniest bit, but we'll see. Oh, we don't actually run out of fuel. It's just turning red to warn me that we're going to be crazy low on fuel. Maybe it's like far enough away that you wouldn't be able to return or something like that. Some sort of warning like that. It'll be fine. I have the other fuel in the box already. Time to finally see what this sweet little ditty's all about. Probably have lots of ways of mixing together fuels and stuff like that. Hey, they even have a bunch of things written on the walls here. It is ever so slightly different than what I have drawn. So you wouldn't be able to just go off of these maps. I guess I'm still carrying it around so you can see how it's different. It doesn't have those two reds, doesn't have these two grays. Set of vials. I guess I'm just going to have to collect things that have different chemical mixtures. There's probably going to be a mixer and something that diagnoses or tells you what chemical compounds are in different things, similar to how it worked in the previous game. It's not powered, or it's broken, or both. You say that about most computers, actually. I've started to realize. List of patients? Yes, sleeper clinic patients. Each has another name assigned in a visitor column. I recognize those. Those are Sidereal Plexus officials. Why do they match coma patients with visitors? Kate? I regret ever working for them. I had no idea. No idea about what? The conspiracy thing was probably on the right track. I'll tell you later. We have to focus on other things now. But what if I pry a little bit? Yeah, not willing to tell it at the moment. No vending machine access. A note. I've made the calculations again. The instability ratio is too high. It can't work. We have to stop the operation. We have to stop or it'll consequences will be catastrophic. Did he like write it down and then forgot to pass his note on to anyone? Maybe this is how they ended the goddamn world. A stack of pill casings. That'll be the air saving pill or whatever they said we needed. There's not a lot I could do. I need to add ingredients first. Yes, that would help. A set of vials. Each vial is labeled with a bunch of symbols. If I just plop them in there, is that good enough? Do I have to like think uber hard about this? Okay, so this isn't quite what I'm going to need because I need 2 blue dots, only 3 black bars, and 4 red bars, or 8, depending how you want to look at that. So there's going to be other things somewhere in here that I need to add to it. Jeez, was there a set of vials back at like the launch pad that I missed? Crap, I hope I don't have to waste a bunch of time driving back and forth. I don't feel time limited currently, but I feel like there's more to this day than I'm imagining, considering how little need there's been to spend time. There's another set of vials just on this shelf. I looked at this crazy colorful shelf way too many times and didn't notice that. God damn it. Well, now we have about everything we need. But I guess it's a little bit of not necessarily trial and error. I don't know how many attempts at this Now I guess I need to consult my little paper and make sure I get my proportions correct. Probably things that add 2 of the dot are going to be bad. And so I'm going to assume neither of those are useful. And I can only activate 3 things anyways. So now I need 2 in one of those. I think that does it. Because now I have 4 red bars, 2 blue dots, and 3 black. That was easier than most to figure out. 15 minutes? It's fine. It finished working. Let's see. A tray full of powder. Load me up. I put powder into the pill. You seem to be very happy with yourself. What did you do? I think those pills will increase lung efficiency. You think? Are you really going to digest an unknown, probably untested chemical? Not just me. You should do it too. Alright, don't forget to share those pills then. It's kind of funny that it was like, hand them around. That's your job. It's not going to do it for you. I hope it's safe. Pop some pills, everyone. Take one before we lift off. Take one before we lift off. You sound like a drug dealer using some weird slang. It's the best joke you've ever cracked, Kate. I created special pills. Like, what kind of a weird thing that is to say to someone, look, I made pills. I'm a scientist. Let me guess, you want me to take one? Yes. Normally, if someone would tell me to take a pill that's going to help me get to the moon, one that you watch them make themselves, no less. Yeah, I know. Just make sure to swallow it right before we launch, okay? Sure thing. I'm guessing for myself it'll be like the last thing I do, like putting on the jacket or carrying the shotgun, things like that. That's probably everything to do at the lab then. Oh man, I need like air canisters, I think, is one thing that I'm missing at this point still. I have a new working theory that there's no full alternate to day 4, but the fact that there's like 3 green chips in that one slot and that the thing is already calibrated, they need to calibrate it, that like what precisely needs to be repaired on the ship is alternating between like runs of this game. I'm going to save right here because there's a lot of potential to make a lot of mistakes. We never really, this is reminding me, we never figured out ship fuel either. That's something that has been completely not addressed. All these big ass tanks aren't anything that we're going to need for a spaceship. Pest control doesn't become useful for rocketry. And here I thought the two were so related. Hey, one cool thing is that the radar should be working now, right? Ah, yeah, what's going on here? Oh, what the? An airplane? An actual flying airplane? Wait a second. Okay, why? Hush! See any difference? Oh, it's not moving. No, should I? Yeah, if it was flying, you'd see it move. It's not airborne. I thought radar was supposed to be detecting things up in the sky. Yes, it also detects active transponders, beacons installed in aircrafts. So we're looking at a possible location of an airplane on the ground? Yes, somebody didn't disable their transponder, which might indicate a crash. Give me your map, I'll estimate its position based on the radar's readings. Oh shit, we got a new place to go to. That's where I'm gonna find the air supply stuff and anything else? Let me look at like the diagnostics in that room one more time. Oh, fuel will be another important thing, I would say. The fuel catalyst is present, though. We have the catalyst. Do we have the fuel? I don't know. I thought there had to have been a reason to repair the radar. It just seemed kind of goofy otherwise, like just kind of a neat thing. I don't know. That's not how anything ever works in this game. That must have been a tough landing. Real insightful, David. Believe me, I've seen worse. Kind of firsthand. I don't doubt that. The plane seems to be mostly intact, so it's a good landing in my book. Did it belong to Sidereal Fleet? Most likely. And whatever it was carrying might still be on board. Come on. Wait, are you not curious to find out why it crashed? Right after the lunar explosion, there was a huge disruption in Earth's magnetic field. Most of the navigation systems went crazy. Planes were falling from the sky all over the world. Shit, son, that does sound sketchy, doesn't it? Ooh, 2 hours? 2 hours to dig that out? Nuh-uh. We're getting a shovel involved in this job. It'll now take 30 minutes. Oh, maybe 2 hours was before subtracting anything, but 30 minutes I can live with. That does not feel too sketchy. Buried plane? It's a lot of sand. The whole nose of the plane is buried. Oh, that's it up there. I kind of thought it was just like a stubby plane. I was mostly looking at the propellers and stuff. Crate labeled 3, 2, 6, 7, there's a million different things. Alright, we should, before we go cracking open crates, because it's probably going to take us a fair amount of time, I won't be able to open it with my hands, and what does it take with the crowbar? 7 minutes. So, I'm going to go look and see if there's, there's a word for it, like, just like an inventory, essentially, but I feel like there's a specific term, oh, geez, for a situation like this, and then we can, target specific crates. What do you guys have to say about the crash? It was just a cargo plane. There's probably only the one casualty. It's a desert and a crashed airplane. I'm not sure what to tell you about it. I hope we find what we need here. Don't you have any story to tell this time? David, what story? This plane wasn't here before the moon exploded. It was a cornfield, I think. Mr. and Mrs. Brown's cornfield. We tricked them into a story. They lived in a 2-story house east of here, but it wasn't destroyed during the earthquake. They both moved out, looking for their relatives from the south. So as you can see, thanks for the story, Barry. Well, you're welcome. Sneaky. Yeah, I got you good. What about you, though? Sorry I interrupted your cool-looking hair flip. Someone really should take some more flying lessons. Yeah, too bad not everyone's got the God-given talent when it comes to piloting, Kate, or landing. I'll pretend I didn't hear your tone, David. Oh, was it hard to hear my tone? I didn't even realize I was doing a tone. It was perfectly genuine. Alright, what do we got here? Transponder's probably not going to tell us much. That thing flashed for long enough. Just got sick of it, did you? A dossier? Is that the word that I want? That's like, what is on your cargo? Just a piece of paper. Cargo manifest. Manifest is probably more accurate. Let's take a look. Yeah, that'll go a long way. Crates. We have voltmeters, which I don't think we'll need. Gaskets of various sizes. Nuts and bolts. I don't think so. Wires. Instant noodles. Navigation chips. Those don't sound that. They sound kind of tasty. Air tanks. And we don't need to worry about the fuel. This is everything that we're gonna need? I'm wondering if flight 127703 is like some referential in some way. I think we have most things. So number 7 is the main thing I'm gonna go digging through then. I would rather spend the 7 minutes and, I don't know, like the 5 minutes going back and forth to go and double check before I waste all the time opening every single crate. Not many of them, but they seem large and quite heavy. Air tanks, it is more than one. They sure weigh a lot for being air. Kind of makes sense. It's compressed. Voltmeters, maybe. Those are just kind of generally useful items. What's the drive? Oh, we're further away than I was thinking, actually. 7 minutes to crack open a crate. I'm obviously not going to take the instant noodles or whatever. Like the wires and stuff, I think I might as well just stick it out here and spend the 7 minutes per rather than 13 minutes there, 13 minutes back, 13 minutes there again. At that point, I might as well have just cracked all the crates. I think it's time I ditch a couple things, maybe. Okay, I took the gaskets, flat rubber gasket to stop pipes from leaking, handful of nuts and bolts, a handful of copper wires. Some of that seems like it's going to be very useless. But considering it took about 21 minutes to open up 3 more crates or whatever, and all the driving back and forth in case I had to come back for it, I decided to make that trade-off. Air tanks can get slotted in here. At that point, that might be everything. Installed reserve air tanks? That's like the extent of everything that I can click around on that wasn't already in like good working order when we boarded the ship. And I'd say all of the diagnostics on this end are in good shape. Alright, well I guess I'm going to start ditching things so we can board this ship. I'll miss each and every one of you useful tools that I have been like sleeping with and never moving, touching, or altering in any way. I have a bunch of stuff that weighs like 0 kilograms, so I'm probably going to hang on to quite a lot of that. Extension cord, that gets me down to 1 kilogram, and I still have kind of a lot of stuff at that point, you know? We'll see. I have my pocket full of loose doodads and crap that I'm taking up into space with me in case the station needs repairs, basically. I think we're ready. Ready when you are, David. Ready to launch? Are you sure you're ready? If so, anything you'd want to use? Yeah. Handful of pills. Chuck them into my mouth. The world was ending. The moon, cracked into pieces, was moving rapidly towards the planet. Both celestial bodies pulling each other apart. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. The gravity's messing things up. All systems green? Well, some systems were green. You didn't have time to check every last nut or seal like people did before rocket launches in the old days. Kate looked at you with her headset on. Engine is ready. Initiating launch procedure. I don't know where you got the headsets from. I won't question it. Overriding safety protocols. Manual controls engaged. I guess if there's no one on the ground controlling you, you have to go manual. I'm trusting you, Kate. The hatch was open, leaving you a clear way towards the sky. Man, could you have crashed through that and still somehow accomplish this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Buckle up. It's going to be one hell of a ride. 1, 0. Apparently it never said 1 before. I got ahead of myself. The acceleration force pushed you hard into your seat, squeezing all the air from your lungs. The rocket began its ascent. You look back to see Barry in his seat, witnessing death and misery had caused his face to age decades since when you first met him. The seat next to him was empty. You didn't manage to keep the kids safe. The ship climbed through the sky, fast and without much trouble. Razor traveled alone, bruised and hurt. Hearing a loud roar in the sky, he turned around and gazed up. I wonder if there was a version of this that we could have brought him with us. Probably. He silently watched you soar, clenching his jaw as hard as he was clenching his fists. Who knows, maybe we just doubled his revenge drive. Looking around the wasteland, he decided this place was as good as any other. He sat down and waited, looking at your ship going up and the moon going down. That would be a pretty incredible... I mean, it would suck if you were in the opposite side of the world and you didn't see the moon crashing, but if you were in a position to watch the moon, like, come down, if you were, like, in a position on the planet, I mean, you would probably burn up or die for other reasons first, but if you could get crushed by the moon on the planet, that would be a pretty cool way to go. It would be a pretty spectacular sight. Sarge and his men were standing on top of a hill. He traveled far west since you had last seen him. The whole squad raised their heads and gazed into the sky, tracing the bright light of your rocket. Would you look at that, smirked Sarge, slowly shaking his head. That kid actually did it. Good luck with whatever you find there, he added. Before he turned away, the whole squad decided to open their last bottle of whiskey and drink it as the world around them started falling apart. I should have brought my whiskey with me, had one last drink alongside them. While the vessel was smoothly gaining altitude, you grew worried about life support. Because the default setting had been corrupted, you were forced to create the air compression yourself. The composition was perfect. The air reserve sustained you for a long time. You inserted a fresh lithium hydroxide filter into the ship's ventilation. It absorbed the carbon dioxide in the air, making it more breathable. You installed reserve air tanks in the shuttle. When the regular air ran low, the reserves kicked in, providing you with more life-saving oxygen. Good thing you noticed and fixed the crack in the ship's hull. Your repairs saved a lot of air from leaking out. Oh, God damn it. You repaired some pills to temporarily enhance lung efficiency? Back up, please? You took one and it reduced the amount of air you used during the flight. Kate took one, and as a result, she used less air during the flight. Barry took one, and his lungs became more efficient during the flight. Am I delaying the inevitable here? Are we going to run out of air? I mean, it's already crossed this threshold thing. Like, what's going to happen? Click to view the summary. We died? You made it to orbit, and from there it was surprisingly a short way to the moon. Kate flew the ship towards the lunar base. Did we survive? Did we make it? I don't know if I could have... I don't know what I could have done better. Is there more game? Is it just going to wrap up? Okay, I'll just kind of observe for a second here. It's a little too easy to get spun up and speculate endlessly. Yeah, it looks like more game. I thought it was going to be a cutscene. That looks like a very smooth landing for someone who could barely land. Okay, well there, that's the Kate I know. That's what I was waiting for. Is there going to be hundreds of people up here? Dozens at least? Like Sidereal Plexus employees possibly? These kind of the life pods look cool. That looks very high tech, doesn't it? Well, I'm glad everyone lived. If I had the kid on board, would I have had to have preserved oxygen in one more way because I ran out with 3 people? Well, shit. Kate, what do you think? Are you doing all right? That wasn't one of my best landings. I've never seen you do any better. Could be worse though, couldn't it? In my defense, it was my first time landing on the moon, and probably first time landing a spaceship, I would say too. Wow, we made it. We actually made it. I never doubted we would, but I guess I owe it to you. Come on, let's move. It's not safe in here. Yeah, why were you guys not wearing spacesuits? Probably would have been a good idea, because you're going to lose compression and stuff in here very suddenly. Barry, are you hurt? I don't think so. Just some bruises. Try to stand up. We have to move. We're losing air, David. Now is the time to use the spacesuits. Alright, I'll get a move on. I'll ask David about it in a second here. Perfect. Buddy? Hey. Yes? What do you think? I can't believe we're here. I was sure we'd... Yeah, but we're here. I mean, it's probably a shorter and shorter trip, right? You're heading towards each other rather than trying to catch up with it. Out the hatch. Let's go jump around in space. Initiating decompressor procedure. Decompression complete. Damn, son. We's on the moon. What do you think? Welcome to the moon, Barry. Can't believe we're here. Now let's get the hell off before it crashes into the Earth. Look at the Earth. Just look at it. Look at it! Yeah, I see it. Remember what it looked like when they showed it on TV? It was blue and green. It's changed a lot since then. Soon there won't be even this. Yeah, that's why we have to hurry, I think. Hopefully there's like a shitload of food on here, space food, to last a long, long time. I guess we could just try and go to a different reality where this hasn't happened. Is that kind of the plan? I still can't believe we're here. You better start believing. Being on the moon's the least of the unbelievable things here. What do you mean by that? Let's get to the moon base and I'll show you. Yeah, that's a cool sentence. I'm fully on board. I would tend to agree. You can't run when you're on the moon. So even when I double click and stuff, so you just kind of slowly wander your way over. There we go. Airlock override mechanism. I have to find a way to open this door. I would suggest the override mechanism. Oh, quick puzzle. I guess we just have to make a connection across all of it. I hate this exact puzzle where moving one ring, we're like moving the fourth. Where like moving the fourth ring moves the second and shit like that. I don't do good with those particular puzzles. Took a little bit of trial and error to get that one going. Just some of the pixels were kind of hard to understand, I found, ever so slightly. Oh, I was curious how much this was going to look like the airlock in Don't Escape 3. It's very different. Alright, I think it's safe to remove our suits. Great, because I'm almost out of oxygen. Oh, so what now? Let's look around. Do you guys need any wires? A handful of nuts, perhaps? Anything useful like that? I feel like I could do a lot with these little bits and bobs that I brought. Feels like I'm in a dream. Maybe we are. It surely is otherworldly in here. Yeah, it's also falling the hell apart, so we better be quick. How much time did it take to get to the moon? Is time no longer a factor? What do you think of this place? It's bigger than I imagined. Really? Doesn't look that huge. Look around, David. Most of this is impossible with current technology. Hell, I doubt it's even possible with whatever technology will be available 50 years from now. So what does that mean exactly? It means Sidereal Plexus likes to borrow technology from other places. Yeah, fair enough. I should be more impressed. You're right. I'll concede that point. Excuse me, it was very slow moving. I'd like to jog around for a moment. What are those? Oh, shit. It's just a bunch of people in, like, cryopods? Or, like, coma people or whatever? Kate? Sleeper pods. Why are people here? You said they all left. You said they went to a different dimension or something. Oh, did they, like, matrix their way into another dimension? Not physically? They did. This is what they left behind? Oh, man, so their consciousness was transferred into coma patients in other dimensions? Kate, you said they escaped. They did, David. Check out their neural activity monitors. They are flat because their body's here, sleeping. That their minds left this place. They traveled through the realm of dreams and already woke up in safety months ago. Pods just sustain their empty bodies here, I guess kind of as a backup. There's also clearly a row of 4 available pods at the front here. Not that it's required, but if for any reason anyone wanted to get back, they still can, at least for now. I've got some questions. Sleeper pods. Fill me in. Some sort of hibernation? Yes, the body doesn't die while the consciousness is elsewhere. Gotcha. What happens if the body dies? In any normal circumstances, your mind would die too, but Sidereal's discovered something. I don't know what it is exactly, but they can completely separate the mind from the body, so when the moon hits Earth and everything here blows up, it won't matter to them. Yeah, because they're in coma patients, right? The realm of dreams, that sounds like some sci-fi bogus bullshit that you pulled out of your ass out of nowhere. A poetic name, but quite graphic. Sidereal has discovered that the human mind is capable of accessing this place, a vast network connecting every mind. As it later turned out, it reached far beyond every mind in the world. It can connect minds across universes. Why sleeper pods have to be on the moon? So people don't discover them? Why even bother flying here if all they do is put you in a pod? Their pods are extremely susceptible to any interference, especially radio waves. Well, you're transferring your consciousness, I guess, right? Humanity used to produce a giant mess of electromagnetic waves of various frequencies. Radio broadcast, TV communications, I can go on and on. Ooh, maybe on the moon, like they probably still need to use that to some degree, but they limit it to a very narrow frequency band where it won't interfere with things. You just have more control over it. Or you could like turn off communications and be like, hey, we're doing the daily mind transfers and just control that side of things. Sidereal found it next to impossible to come up with a location desolate enough for their sleeper pods to work as intended. Faraday cage shielding was partially effective. Something for blocking radio waves, I guess, but that Faraday as a name sounds familiar, but I don't know. But it was apparently causing some side effects. Early experiments led to some awful failures. They finally came up with the idea that the one thing that would shield the sleeper pods well enough would be the moon. Well, that's cool as hell. Oh, there was one more thing to say. Oh, and then I'm not sure how I feel about that, but then again, what do we have to lose? She probably just said something about the only way we're going to get out of here is through these pods. Other interferences? What about moon to earth communication? What about radio waves from space? Don't they interrupt the sleeper pods? Sidereal's own communication devices work on frequencies outside the harmful spectrum, just like I suspected. Space radiation? Damn it, David. I don't know. They must have found a way around it. This is a good question, though, because that is a thing. I'm not a physicist. All right. I'll stop hounding you about all this stuff, and I'll grab this cool-looking black card. Oh, look at me. I'm collecting a mighty deck. Soon I'll be able to enter a battle tournament of some kind. Steven Schirm, who doesn't have a name, or a face, I mean. Diagnostics, system memory, 128 megabytes allocated, 38 free. Floppy disk, no disk. Guess what I have? Mem boost on diagnostic screen. No, not on the screen. On, like, the console. The console seems to be locked. Okay. Empty sleeper pod. Pod's empty but closed. Alright, guys. Barry, do you have any more commentary on the moon? I didn't think so. I feel like we kind of covered the bases by going, oh shit, for a minute. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Things are like moving around out here. Is it like, am I actively watching myself like run out of time by standing here and observing this? I don't know, but it's very cool. The controls in the other room are locked, by the way. We gotta unlock them fast. I think it can be done in the control room, if you say so. Alright, well, I'm just gonna start doing things then. We don't really have time to talk about it then, do we? As cool as this all looks, we can't really worry about it for the time being. Card reader. Time for a good old black card. Is it going to work when it doesn't have a photo on it? Access granted. Good enough. Control computer. The console lets you gain access to the sleeper pods. Once you have it, you'll be able to open and use any of the unoccupied pods. Do it. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's getting worse out there. Sleeper pod control unlocked. Base control computer. I think I can actually run out of time up here. I've done all I have to do here. Time to move. Is that actually everything? Jesus Christ. Quickly, I'm just trying to like make sure I didn't miss anything because I don't have time. Alright, probably it's fine. This is really cool. The animation outside is amazing. It's really adding some very serious tension. Larger and larger pieces are like flying off the moon. It makes this room really sketchy because you can't see what's going on out there. Okay, no floppy disks, but things are active, running. Sleeper pod active, occupied. Oh man, there's a bunch of available ones. Warning, phase controller corrupted. Unable to select destination, enabling emergency mode. Sidereal Plexus takes no responsibility for memory loss and or personality merge. Ooh. Oh no. No. Check that again. Maybe it was just a glitch. It still says phase controller corrupted. It has already happened. Keeps happening. Has she gone through this before? Maybe? Is she like some time looper trying to correct this and like do it better on each additional attempt? She would know more. She'd be more helpful if that was the case. You gotta tell us, man. What's the phase controller? It's a system designed to transmit human consciousnesses to a selected target. Target. A human in another world. Yes, usually an otherwise brain-dead clone they've prepared especially for this purpose. Or a patient in a coma in the worlds like ours where cloning has not been developed yet. This is how they used to navigate between worlds. Go to sleep here, target a sleeping human vessel in another world, and wake up there. I'm not sure if this is more terrifying or more unbelievable. Barry's just, he doesn't want any part of it. He's just like, guys, just let me know when we're ready to leave, because things are looking pretty bad out there. If that controller is disabled, we can't select a target body or world. What's the emergency mode, then? When the primary phase controller is disabled, the backup system kicks in. It targets a random world and a random sleeping person. Without their consent? Yes, sleeping or coma. Because if they're just asleep, Jesus. However, for some reason, when this happens, you almost always end up in your own body, but in a different world. That's kind of interesting. There's like a homing something or other. Where will we go? Well, without the phase controller, two things can happen. We all end up together in one body with a merged consciousness, or like we could end up spread out on different universes, right? Like we might not never see each other again. We could end up in limbo, in the dream world, without bodies to return to, or we could wake up in our own bodies in a different world, a different version of our world. Like one where this never happened, a world where there was no lunar explosion in 1996. Hopefully. Yes, hopefully. It's crazy that you can travel through time as well. And like, would you kick out the consciousness of that world? Like that just would not exist anymore. It would be written over, right? What do you mean? It has already happened. I'm not sure. The dreams we both had, warning you about incoming threats, showing me where the Sidereal office building was. Those might have been our own memories from our past lives. Cool. That is very cool. That would mean I've been through this. We all have. Shit. Are we gonna remember any of this? The computer says something about memory loss. Yeah, when your mind ends up in your own body in a different world, this is what happens. You merge. Your current memories become distant, like a dream that you've forgotten. Doesn't sound like we're gonna make it in one piece after all. It's better than dying completely, I guess. Yeah, okay. Would have the past be warned me about the incoming events? Who warned him? Is there some sort of paradox here? Another me? Who warned that other me? When did it all begin? As far as I know, the number of worlds might be infinite. It's better to not think about it. Okay, we're going to use the, what's his name? Jeff Daniels looper logic there. Just like, don't spend any time worrying. We have no choice, David. We've got to use those pods, whether they're fully operational or not. Can't we fix the damaged systems? Look at all these wires and nuts and bolts I brought. I even have a gasket. Please, that's got to do something. Even if we knew how, it would probably take days. We definitely don't have much time. Man, we were super not time limited in that last day. It was like not a concern at all. Let's do this. Quick, the whole place is falling apart. Just boom. Get on in then, Barry. Any last words before we scoot the hell out of here? It's time to say goodbye. I don't like this idea, David. I know what you want to say, and I don't like it. To be honest, I have no idea if this does anything or if we're just being delusional. Nothing to lose, right? We came this far. Might as well give it a shot. Want me to go first? Nope, it's Kate. You seem to be the one who knows which buttons to press. He is totally just like tapping out, letting us handle it. Hey, Kate. Maybe I was wrong about you. I'm glad you think so. I know I can be unpleasant. Yeah, but that's a mask, and I can see that. You're a good person, Kate. Keep it that way. See you around. Bye, big man. Hey, David? Yes? You say we can find ourselves anywhere in any world? That's how I understand it, based on the explanation I got like 30 seconds prior while you did nothing and apparently didn't listen. You think I'll see her? Maggie? My wife? I don't know, Barry, but I think there's a chance you will. Say hello to her for me. Sure thing, David. Sure thing. Well, rest easy, big man. And goodbye to you too. Time to sleep, right? Or should I go first? It's okay. Remember to turn off the lights and promise you won't do anything stupid. Have I ever done anything stupid? You're funny. Alright, David, so here we are, at the end of the road. Or is it the beginning? I wouldn't have made it here if it wasn't for you. Are you getting emotional now? I think I've spent too much time with you. Where do you hope to wake up? In a bed, in a world where they have a moon and lattes. I hope that's what happens. Me too. Bye, David. Until we meet again. Just don't point your gun at me when we do, okay? Can't promise that. Alright, now how the hell am I going to get in here and then also activate this to happen? You know? Running diagnostics, active, all this good jazz. But what do I do with this? Why does it feel so familiar? Because I've gone through this before, right? Probably? It's just not gonna let me do it. Oh! I've inserted the MemBoost disk in a drive A. The computer reads it. Oh, it's because it wasn't turned on before. What did I change? The program will not prevent memory loss, but will let you carry over more memories in case of emergency merge. And no disk, but I don't think there was a second one, so it doesn't matter, right? Oh, shit. I'm going to play through the game again, which I was considering doing anyways. Now I absolutely need to, and I'm gonna find that disc again, and I'm gonna get to this point in the game, and there's already gonna be a disc in slot A, and I'm gonna add another one into slot B. Right? Sleeper pods active. Warning: phase controller corrupted. Unable to blah blah blah. Emergency mode enabled. But the memory booster is active. I hope this is gonna make things better. I think we did. We probably saved it, right? Are you sure you want to hit the initiate induced sleep button and get into the sleeper pod? Yeah. Oh shit. What the? Did these guys get saved? Is it too late? You're where you wanted, Kate. Let's hope you were right about all this. What is all this clanging around and everything? Did we totally lose our chance? You've earned some rest, buddy. Is it just crashing out here? Is it too late? Is it just we're that close to smashing into the earth now? Look, you're seeing it like pan across and everything. Like, it's pooched, I think. I think we missed our chance. Anything? You take a look at the screen and realize that while sleeper pods have their independent power reserves, you won't be able to initiate another pod unless the main power is back. There are some unnecessary systems... Oh, so like independently they're all good, but you can't boot up a new one. There are some unnecessary systems powered, such as communications array. This is a standard procedure so the crew is able to call for help, but there is no one that can help you now. You could try to reroute the power to the station systems. Do it. Attempt it. Why not? Rerouting power reserves. Main power restored. Good. Hopefully that's enough. How many more times? Oh god, the glass is cracking and everything. How many more times do you think it's gonna fall apart? Shit! Come on, pick yourself up, buddy. Run for it. Go, go, go. Things are exploding. I don't know how long it takes to transfer a memory. What if it takes like 20 minutes or whatever? Hopefully it takes 2 seconds because that's all the time we have. God damn it. Get in there. Get in, 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 get in. Is what I'm trying to say. Mostly just turned into I turned into Quagmire basically. Are we... okay, for a second I thought we were just going to watch the moon smush in there. I mean, we probably still are going to watch that anyways. Either that or it was going to, like, jump cut to David, like, waking up in his own body or whatever. It's not showing a Sarge or anything. I guess we kind of, like, had a little salute and goodbye to them. Farewell. Beforehand. Oh. We did just go backwards. Yeah, because I was like, the moon is back up there. The bag is here. What a nightmare. It all felt so real. I feel there was something more in that dream. Something sad and important. Why do I feel like this already happened? Yet something is different. How much of this dialogue is the same as the very beginning of the game? I'm going to find out what. Ooh, 2 achievements. Oh, I thought it was immediately just going to go back into things there. 2 achievements there. One of them was just called Awakening. A game by Scriptwelder. Additional screenplay design. Yes, I'd seen that before. Complete the game, and the second achievement was unlock the Awakening mode, and the picture for that is a little floppy disk. So I definitely unlocked a new mode of playthrough, which, like, before it was just like, hey, doing a second playthrough could be neat because we could take a quick look at what some of these alternate modes look like, things like that, alternate scenarios for the different days, what those look like. There is like a different story to play through. That's why there's 2 scenarios, is because to get the true ending of this game, you have to play through it twice. And so it wasn't just like here, throw you guys a nice cool little treat for your own enjoyment if you choose to play through it a second time. It's like, no, if you actually fully get the full experience of this game, you have to play through it twice, and I don't want to make you guys have to do the exact same thing 2 times. The full game is playing through it twice. Oh man, this is going to be exciting. I just got so fired up for the possibility here and what that's all going to mean and everything. I promise you guys I'll trim away like majority of the dialogue and stuff that overlaps crazily and everything like that it looks and feels very similar. Ooh, new game glitching with the Awakening there. Yeah, I'll make it as short and sweet as possible, but if things play out dramatically differently, there might be a million things of new dialogue and stuff anyways. I don't know. I'm getting all worked up about it, but it's definitely something I'm going to play. I'm going to keep playing more. I'm going to replay the entire game immediately, basically. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very excited for where this is headed. It's God, this is a cool ass game. This is so cool. You could have played through it just once and it was a cool story, but it like clearly has so much more to offer. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon.